Hey everybody, hope you're doing well no matter where you are in this world today. I want to say thank you. We're at 19,600 subscribers, only 400 away from 20,000. And when we hit that 20,000 mark, I have some big news for the channel, so please stay tuned. Also, I want to remind everybody that you can become a member right here on YouTube for just 99 cents. Starting January 1st, 2023, I'm going to be phasing out the MVP, VIP, and Pro versions, and those perks will be moved over to the 99-cent eBuzz Central member. It's a great way to support the channel and a great way to support content you like. Having said that, want to send a quick shout out to my newest member, Spider Rage. Thank you so much for the support, and thank you so much for believing in the content and the channel enough to want to support it. You'll never know what that means to me. Along with all my other members, we're going into 2023 with a great member base, and I expect it to do nothing but grow in the coming year. As we get closer to the end of 2022, I've kind of looked back on all the videos I've done this year, and I'm pretty proud. I've come a long way, I do believe. And I want to thank all of my community because I wouldn't be where I am today without you. So having said that, there's some applications I've covered this year that I think we really need to touch base on. There are three in particular that I think are the best Linux applications of 2022, and I want to go over them again. So if you would, get your popcorn and let's take a look at what I believe are the three best Linux applications of 2022. And the application we're going to talk about today is Stacer. Now, every distribution or flavor of Linux that I have used in the last year, I have put Stacer on. It makes things a lot easier for you, whether it be resource management, whether it be tracking down an application that happens to be using too much RAM or too much CPU, and you can kind of hone in on it. Plus, it gives you great control over what is starting up on your system and what you want to start up on your system at boot. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and close out of this website, and we're going to go ahead and open Stacer up so you can see just what it's all about. Now, when you open Stacer up, you're going to get your CPU usage over here. You're going to get your memory usage right here, and then your disk usage right here. Now, as you can see, my CPU is running about 20%, and my memory is about 1.6 gigs, okay, with Stacer open. But I want you all to remember I have OBS running in the background, and I am recording. So I don't need you to blow my comment section up with, look at how heavy GNOME is on Fedora. But this gives you a nice big dashboard right here. It gives you download and upload speeds down here on your bottom right. Then you've got your host name, your platform, distribution, kernel I'm running, CPU model, CPU cores, and CPU speed. Yes, I know that's kind of a underpowered processor that I'm using, but I don't need a lot of power on this machine. It seems to run pretty smoothly with Fedora, and I'm able to do my videos quite well. But I just like the general overall layout. When you first open up Stacer, it just gives you your dashboard. Everything's right there, and you can see it pretty quick. So what we're going to do now is we're going to zip on over to the second screen, which is your startup apps. Now right here, if you have an application that actually is starting up when you boot your system, you can open up Stacer, come over here. You can actually click on that startup app and actually remove it. I don't have that problem at present. And you can also add a startup app. Let's say you want Discord to start up, or maybe you want your Spotify to start up. This is where you come over here and officially do that. You just click on add a startup app. Then you can do a app name. So let's do something like GIMP and see if that'll bring it up. Fields cannot be left blank. Oh, app comment. I forgot about that. GIMP. And then you could put in your command right here that you want it to be. So you can pretty much set up all your startup apps that you want to put in there, and then you'll be good to go. Most people I know don't want things to start up when they boot their system, but there are some of you out there that would like certain functionality to be already running when you boot your system, so that's just another option for y'all there. Now I'm going to go down to the next one, which is the one I really like, System Cleaner. Now, let's say you wanted to clean out your package caches or crash reports or application logs, application caches, or your trash. Now, I do have the capability, if I go over here into the terminal and I go ahead and maximize that so you can see it. Let's go ahead and run that up. On Fedora, I have to do sudo dnf clean all. And I can do that. And it'll remove 92 files, as you see right there. Now, that's my cache right there that clears out. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this down and close it. It would be much easier for me just to select all right here and search. And there's all the packages, and there's everything that's in my system that I can clean. I just come down here. Let's look at something real quick. Application logs. There's all the application logs that I can clean. And then, of course, there's application cache or cache. Don't need y'all blowing my comments up going, it's cache, not cache. So, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Cache, cache. It's like when I say GNOME or GNOME. You know what I'm talking about. Let's not pick out the little stuff. Let's worry about the product that's in front of us. So, I'm going to go ahead and come down here to the little sweeper button. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You got to select all first. Then come down here to the little sweeper button. Then you got to put in your password. And it'll clean all that. It'll show that there's 0 bytes, 0 bytes, 0 bytes, 0 bytes. So those are clean. So we're good to go there. Now let's go down to the next. This right here is in beta. Okay, this is a search function. I haven't really messed with this, so I'm going to kind of skip over it. But it's supposed to be able to let you find specific items that you need to clean off your system, or specific items that you need to adjust on your system, and you can do it from right here inside of Stacer. But we'll get back to that later on down the road when I do an update video when this part of the Stacer isn't in beta. Now, next thing we got right here is your services that are running in the background. Right now, you can scroll down through here and it'll show you what services are actually coming on when you power up your system, or services that have come on after you've come to the desktop. Now right here is all your systems that are doing that, okay? If you find out you're getting a boot error or you have a problem, this is be the area that I would come look. And when I mean boot error, sometimes on Fedora, even sometimes on Ubuntu, that I've noticed when you boot up, you'll get a little notification saying, hey, there was an issue. Wasn't enough to affect the system from starting, but look for this. And then you can kind of come through in here and say, okay, what is starting up at boot that is causing these problems? Let me see if I can find it. This is just another tool right here in your services that helps you find that issue. Okay? That's what I really love about Stacers. There's so many tools inside of it that you can use. It's more than just, hey, here's what your CPU, memory, and internet is doing at the moment. It gives you tools so you can go in and actually kind of tweak and fix things if you've got an issue. Then you can come over here to the next one, which is your processes. And all of you familiar with like a system monitor or something like that, all you got to do is click on your process, come down here in that process, and it'll close it. Next one is uninstaller. Now this one comes in handy. I haven't had issues with RPM and I haven't had issues with DNF, but it's always nice to have a secondary uninstaller on your system for the simple fact that sometimes, and all of you who use Linux know this, that sometimes you'll go in to uninstall a package and it just will not uninstall. And another place that it comes in handy is I'm getting ready to do a review on a program called eDrawMax. Now, eDrawMax is not available on a Fusion, and it's not available in the DNF. It is available from the company that you download it from. It's a diagramming application. And you can install it through your regular software or RPM. You don't have any issues. But if you ever want to get rid of it, when I get rid of it, I'm going to uninstall it from here. And what I'll do is I'll go up here and I'll type in eDraw. And there it is right there. I can click on it and I will go ahead and uninstall from here. The reason I'll do that is because it was an outside application that didn't come from the software store or the DNF or the RPM. I just like it because my experience with Stacer, especially when I used it on Arch, I always used it to uninstall AUR programs, and it seemed that once I started using Stacer to do that, I had less errors in the future. I would download AUR packages, and if I decided I wanted to get rid of them, I always seemed to have these lingering problems. I don't know why. But when I started using Stacer, it fixed it. Just my opinion. If you guys download this and take a look at it, please let me know in the comments below what you think. And then when you come over here to resources, you got history of your CPU, history of your CPU load averages, history of your disk read-write, history of your memory, history of your network, and then of course right here is your local home drive. As you can tell, I've hardly used any of it with the Fedora, and I've also got a ton of different applications installed. So Having said that, let's go ahead and move on to the next. And this is your helpers. And basically, anybody who knows about local host domains and domains know what this is. You can change local hosts right down here. Then you can come over and save the changes, and it will make things easier on some situations. And then over here, you've got your settings. English, which disk do you want it to be running on? Start page, you can set it up for dashboard. You can change your start page. Like I told you when we first started it up, you got dashboard that pops up here. Let's say you want it to be something else. You can change it to startup apps, services, processes. You can kind of adjust this to make it the way you want to use it. I like that flexibility inside of a program because it makes it feel more like your application as opposed to something you're just using. Alert messages, you can come down here and set an alert message. Let's say your CPU, you wanted to cap it at 70 or 80%. You can go ahead and put that up to 70 or 80%. And then memory, you can set it. And then your disk percentage. And then once you do that, should any of those parameters right there, your disk goes above whatever percentage or your CPU goes above the percentage that you've issued, it sends out a little warning and lets you know, hey, you got an issue, go take a look at it. And that's a quick look at Stacer. A great resource management application for your Linux machine and a great way to keep your machine clean. That's my opinion. Now, what I want to cover today is something I touched on when I was first going over my install of Storm OS as my new daily driver, and a tool that's inside of it that I thought was great. And really, there's nothing else like it, in my opinion, that is on Linux today. And it's kind of close to the snip and sketch that you get with Windows or Windows 11. But what it is called, if you come down here and open up your application menu, I'm going to go ahead and put in Flame, and it's Flameshot. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And once it's clicked, if you notice, it lets you know, hi, I'm here. Click the icon in the tray to take a screenshot, or click with right button to see more options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this, and we're going to zip over to Firefox real quick because I have flameshot.org pulled up. And it basically says it's a powerful yet simple to use open source screenshot software. And guys, it really is powerful, and it gives you a lot of different things you can do with a screenshot tool to make it more useful than just taking a picture. You can have in-app screenshot editing, simple and intuitive. You can upload to online platforms. You can make different changes. You can change the color of those changes. And we're going to look at that here real quick. And then if you want to download this, you just click on over to the download. You've got it for Windows, Mac, and Linux. In Linux, it is available in an app image. You might be able to find it in your package manager, but it is available on Snap and FlatHub as well. So what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to go back to their home page, and I'm just going to show you some of the things you can do with it. So I'm going to come down here and click on the Flameshot icon, and it pops up. And it basically is asking you right now, what do you want to take a picture of? So I'm going to go over here, and I'm just going to go ahead and say I wanted to send this to somebody. Or maybe you're working with a work document or something like that. You just click on it, and then you get this great menu that pops up down here. Now, when this menu pops up, you have a lot of different options. We're just going to start from the left and work ourselves to the right. First thing I want to bring up is the pencil tool. So let's go ahead and open up the pencil tool. And then if you do that, you can go up here and you can draw lines on it. Maybe you want to circle download or circle something in a document that you want pointed out. If you make a mistake, just come over here to the undo button and you can get rid of those. Now, if you right click on the pencil, it brings this up and you can actually change the color gradient of the pencil. So let's go ahead and make it blue, and we will close on that. And now you can actually change your pencil to blue and do any kind of markings or specific things you want to do inside a picture or a document. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and undo that. And then if you click on pencil again, it turns it off. Your next option is straight line. Now you can pick that. And as before, if you right click on it, you can change the color of the straight line tool. Let's make this one yellow, and we will close out of that. And let's say you wanted to underline a word in a document, or you wanted to underline something in a picture. You just drag it, click, and you've got straight line. So we've underlined that. Well, let's say we want to point out a specific thing. We want to emphasize what we're trying to get across. So we can go down here, shut that off, go to arrow, come right up here, just drag a certain direction. Let me undo that because I started too far away. Let's start out here towards what we want to point at and drag and drop. And then that way you can add that arrow to a specific part of your document or picture. I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. Let's shut the arrow off. And then we're going to open up the box. Let's say we wanted to put a box around something. You can just box that in, and there you go. It's done. And then over here, you can pick that one. And if you wanted to box something in and just completely wipe it out or edit something in a document, as in cover it up because you don't want nobody to see it, there you go. Let's say you've taken a screenshot of somebody that sent a comment to you or sent a text to you and you want to share it with somebody, but you don't want to let them know who sent it to you or whatever reason you might want to use it. This hides that for you. So let's shut that off. And then of course it looks like you got a circle tool. So I bet if we go up here, let's say we want to put a circle around this picture. There you go. You've got a circle around a picture. Like I said, there's so many different things you can do with this. It's much more than a screenshot editor. It is a great tool. It's something that you can use on a daily basis, especially if you're somebody that does a lot of multitasking with other people on a job, or if you just have friends that are involved in a group on Facebook or something like that, and you're working back and forth. This is a great tool to do that. So let's go ahead and uncheck that. And this right here, I haven't actually looked at yet. Is this a paintbrush of some kind? Let's change the color and see if it is. Let's go over here. Let's pick blue. And we will close. And we will go up here on top of the yellow. So yellow and blue make green. So I could put that there. So it's kind of another way to... Okay, that's a highlighter. Okay, see guys? I learn something new every time I use this tool. So I've just highlighted that in blue. If it was yellow, it would probably look a lot better. Let's go down here, right click, let's make it yellow and close. And let's say we're going to highlight software. Yep, you can highlight it. So that's pretty impressive. I like that. Okay, let's stop that. Let's go over here to text. And what do I have the color set on for text? Let's go ahead and right click. Let's go ahead and pick yellow for text. Close. Let's just go right here and say test Flameshot. There you go. You've added a text to your screenshot. We can turn that off. And what is this right here? This is a circle. Okay, so you could go through and it numbers them. 1, 2. So if you're wanting to express bullet points in a document or express different parts of a picture, you can come in here and do that real quickly. And it numbers them. 1, 2, 3. Simple source software. 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty interesting. I like that. Now, what do we have over here? Let's turn that off. So this is a marker, rectangular selection. Set pixelate as the paint tool. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to concern myself with that. What do we have here? Set inverter as the paint tool. So I guess you can invert. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to read up on both of those. And what is this? Okay, is this where you can actually resize your screenshot? Yes, this is where you can resize your screenshot as you're going. So you go over here, you pick that. Let's say you wanted to bring this in a little bit and you wanted to include something a little bit more below it. You could pull that down and then you've just adjusted your screenshot before you've actually saved it. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that off. And then of course you have undo, redo. Then right here, you can copy this selection to a clipboard if you want, so you can share it easily. You can also save it as is if you want to, or you can close out of it. So let's go ahead and click save. And we're going to save this as test patron Flameshot. And we will save that to pictures. And then when you come down here to your folder and your pictures open up, let's go over here and click. So we should be able to open that. And as you can see, I have GIMP set up as my image viewer. And it opens up right there. Everything is saved right where we left it. It's a great tool, guys. I'm telling you, if you haven't checked it out, zip on over and download Flameshot. Now we are at the Linux Mint desktop. First thing you want to do is there's 2 different ways you can install OnlyOffice. What I'm going to do first is let's go to Firefox. Once that opens up, let's go ahead and maximize it. And you're going to want to go to onlyoffice.com. And it's going to pop up right here. Now you can scroll down to where we were a while ago. Go for Linux. And let's go ahead and pick it for download that deb. And we will just save it and click OK. Now it's going to download. It's going to take just a little bit. So I will come right back to you when it's done downloading. Okay, it has completed the download. And if you come down here, this says Debian 8 or Ubuntu 14.04 and higher. It's version 7.0.2 and its release date was April 4th of 2022. So what we will do is we'll go ahead and close this. And what we'll want to do is go down here to Files, click on Files, go to Downloads, and then right here's OnlyOffice. You could right click and open with GW Package Installer, and that right there would install it to your system. Or you can just go over here, go to the Software Manager, go up in Search and type OnlyOffice. And there's OnlyOffice. Let's go ahead and click on it. And as you can see, this is a little older version, 7.0.1. And it is a flat pack. We will go ahead and click on Install. And it'll let you know right here that changes will be made to your disk. And you're going to have some other dependencies that download with it. So we will go ahead and click Continue. And it will install. Now that download has completed, one of the things I love about OnlyOffice out of the box is that it simply just works. Without any tweaks, you can use it for DocX, ODT, XLSX, ODS, CSV, PPTX, ODP. It works with Microsoft Docs right out of the box and LibreOffice Docs right out of the box without any tweaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close out of this. Come down here to the application launcher and let's look for OnlyOffice. And there it is. Let's go ahead and open it up. And when it opens, that's what you see. Now we can go ahead and maximize this. We are using the desktop version right now. But if you were using something like the workspace version or you wanted to be part of the cloud where you would have encrypted documents saved in the cloud, you can go ahead and create an online account right here. I'll cover that in a future video. But what we're going to go over now is just the basic desktop editors. One thing I like to do right off the bat is go ahead and go to Settings, because what you will see sometimes is when it loads up, this will be real big and you may want to make it a little smaller. So you can go over here to Interface Scaling. You can set it to Auto or you can set it to 125% and apply. And as you can see, it gets bigger. I'm going to go ahead and leave it to Auto. That's just something once you download it, you're going to want to play around with and get it set up the exact way you want it. Now the interface theme is a classic light. I'm going to go ahead and set that to a dark because I do like dark themes. And there we go. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up the document, which is equivalent to Microsoft Word or your Google Doc. And when it comes up, it's got a familiar layout. If you look up here, you've got File, Home, Insert, Layout, References, Collab, Protection, Plugins. And as you go across, you've got different tools for each one of the tabs: References, Collaboration, Protection, or Plugins. Then you can go over to Insert. Now, if you wanted to open a document, you could go up here to File. I'm going to zip over here to Downloads, and I have a lot of different things in here. I've got DocX, documents for a lot of my business that I've done in the past. These are older. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull something like this up. And as you can see, it opens right up. I did this originally about 4 years ago online with Microsoft Docs. And then I can come in here and I can make changes if I want. eBuzz Central. And then go up here and let's click Save. And it will save the document. And it gives me a lot of flexibility there. Now the next thing I want to take a look at is Spreadsheet. And when that opens up, you'll see the pretty equal layout compared to what you're looking at with a Microsoft Office Excel or Google Spreadsheets, whatever you might be using. But it's local, it's on your system, and you don't have to get online to use it. Plus, if you're saving everything locally, it's a little bit more secure. But you can go in here, you can right click, you can insert rows, delete rows, number formats. You get all the options that you get on something like a Microsoft Excel, but you're not paying a monthly fee for it, or you're not paying a one-time fee to have it on your system. And you can see the flexibility that you have with everything that you want to do in your spreadsheets. Now, if we close out of this, you also have a presentation, which is equivalent to your PowerPoint. And what you can do here is, let's say you have PowerPoints from the past, or you want to go online and find a PowerPoint template. So let's go over here and look for .pptx template. And let's just find something we can have fun with here. Let's go with colors and presentation. Go to preview and download. And you can download it for Canva, PowerPoint, or Google Slides. I'm going to go ahead and go with PowerPoint. And I'm going to save it. That should be done downloading. So let's go ahead and close out of that. Let's come over here and let's go to File and Open. We will go to Downloads. There's the PowerPoint. Let's go ahead and click Open. It's loading the presentation, and there's the presentation. You can come in here, do all the work, or make the changes that you need to make, and you're good to go. So that's pretty powerful. I like that. And one of the things I like about OnlyOffice is the aesthetic. If you're used to working on something like a Microsoft Excel or a Google Slides, it just looks better. It looks clean. And it makes working in your Linux system very fun. I promise you that. Not to mention that if you're using Windows or Mac OS, you can use this as well. Now, the last part I want to look at, let's go ahead and close this, is the form template. You can come down here. Not a lot of people use this, but if it's something that you might be using, you can definitely take advantage of having the form option here. Now, basically what this does, the docx F. And then right here it says add fields and create a fillable O-form document. You could come over here and just, put a drop down box in there if you wanted to. Choose the items you wanted to put in the field. You could also put an image in it if you would like to, or you could clear all fields and start all over. You could just come in here and put something like eBuzz Central. And then you could set other drop downs in here if you would like to. And then that would give you more than one. So you do have the ability to do forms on here as well. Now, I understand people are going to say this is a Linux channel and you're supposed to be pushing open source software. I truly believe in open source software. I do. But at the same time, I also recommend people use the tools that's going to make their job easier when they make that move to Linux. And OnlyOffice does that. If you are somebody that is trapped by Microsoft Office or Google Docs, and you want something locally you want on your system so you don't have to go online every time you want to do something, OnlyOffice is definitely the application for you. Now, what I do want to show you as well, let's go ahead and close out of that. We come back over here. I like the way it lays everything out for you right here. You're familiar with the way it works on other Office applications. Right here, you're going to get that same feeling. It's going to have the list of everything that you've been in most recent, and it will keep filling up. So everything's at a very quick glance and click. So you can come over here. I want to go back to that, and it's up and on your screen. Now, some information I want to share with you real quick. They do have a new version of OnlyOffice coming out in May. It's going to be version 7.1. You'll be able to run OnlyOffice docs on ARM-based devices. You'll be able to read PDF, XPS, and Deja Vu files with a brand new viewer. You'll be able to convert PDF files to docx with a couple of clicks. And then you're going to have new options on the View tab. In addition to the existing tools I just showed you, they're going to include elements such as combined sheets and status bars, always show toolbar, interface theme, show frozen panes. So they're making leaps and bounds in the overall look and function of OnlyOffice. So I definitely think it's something you need to zip on over, download, and play around with and see if it's going to fit your needs. Plus, they're going to make upgrades to the editors. You'll be able to go in and design a little bit better for your presentations and things like that. So, like I said, I'm going to make sure to link their website in the description below. Do me a favor before you leave today. Please like the channel. Likes keep me in YouTube's algorithm, which means if you found the information in this video helpful, somebody else out there might as well. And subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. And if you end up not liking me, you can always unsubscribe. You also can become a member right here on YouTube for just 99 cents a month. But that's not all. We are also on Utreon, which you can become a member on at $2.99 a month, or Odyssey, which is $4 a month. You can also buy us a cup of coffee, maybe zip on over to PayPal and throw us a donation, or go over to Patreon and become a patron to the channel. All those links will be in the description below. As always, thank you for watching my video, and I will see you in the next video.